Hi there, and today I'm going to be working on the front end driver's cab of the train. So this video is going to be very much make it up as I go along. Apart from this initial plan that I showed very early on in my series of videos, I haven't done any other work on building and putting this together. So I've just got all the parts I need. I've got lots of bits, small bits of white and blue and red and grey and things. I'm just going to start getting going and see how it turns out. What I have already done though is built the same underframe, but not underframe, bottom of the carriage as the previous one I've already built. However, I've left the end off everything from that part which sits above the suspension of the wheel set, and I'm just gonna go from there and see how it goes. So according to my plan, I had 1, 2, 3, 4 studs before this white panel, so that's why I've gone back to this red brick here. So that's my 4 studs. So as far as my original plan goes, this should sit right on top of that one there with the white row of plates first. So what I'm going to just do is stick a white plate down there and then put a red plate there and put our white slope there, and then what should happen is the blue slope sits there, although it doesn't, does it? That almost needs to be up a plate to fit in. I don't know if you can see that. If I try and put that on there, they don't lock together well, whereas that needs to be raised ever so slightly. So that may change what I need to do, as I can't add another blue line to that because I've already got the 3 bricks height for the windows. So what I'll probably need to do is lower that white piece. What I do, if I take those off, move that one along and put that white there, and hopefully that should now, yes, that fits together better, doesn't it? So it's already it's not going to be like my original plan, but that's okay. We just, like I said, make it up as we go along. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just build part of these windows to give us an idea of what that's going to look like. So if I stick a blue plate down there, and then we had our second row of blue plates above it, just get any old bits there, and then we need our 1x1 brick and 1x1 brick with the stud on the side to build up our window sets. So I've got 3 windows here, and I also need some blue plates to go between them. So there, and one on the end. Another window, another plate, another window, and then we click that to the brick with the stud on the side. And of course we need our smooth tiles for those to sit on, so I'll just put one down for now. And there we go, that matches quite nicely with our train that we've already got. So that's looking good so far. Then of course on top of that I'm going to need some blue plates. And we have our white row, don't we? Now that's going to have to meet up with that white. So I'm going to need a white stud. Is that no, they're bricks? Look for my box of bits. And here is some white 1x1 studs. So I put one on those on there, and then put our white plate on top. There we go, that's the start of the angle up on the livery, so that you can just see an ever such a slight gap between those two, but I think I'm going to have to live with that, because that's the only way to go. So there we go, that's fine. Right, next we need the red. So now the red, according to my plan, that's already moved up. Now the white's moved down a plate, hasn't it? So So if this red needs to be raised to match up with the red line that goes above, or I could do that and include the red line. Well, if I get a red plate, put it on top of that one then. If I did that, that keeps this lower. If I move that one up, it's just going to start getting ridiculously high. So if we keep that there, so we're almost keeping that lower than the plan, but it's already raised up because this is having to be different because the white has dropped down a plate level. Right, well, we'll go with that and see what happens. So I need to now pad out that corner. I don't think I've got any red 1x1s, so if I just use 3 plates stuck together for now, I can put that in there. And that marries up there. And I need my grey. We know that now that they don't sit next door to each other. That has to be a plate lower than that, so it has to sit there. So I'm going to need 2 grey plates above it, like that. I'll just get a white roof piece for now to hold it in place. So that's how that would go. Right, then down here we had all that yellow, the yellow and white underneath. So these are my yellow and white, and I imagine if they don't sit right next door to each other like the plates do, these are going to have to be raised as well. So that's going to have to raise up a plate as well, because they're not going to sit right next door to each other. That's fine, so that needs to be moved up. Okay, so if the yellow's got to be higher than the white has got to sit there, hasn't it? The yellow has got to be 1 plate higher, so it won't sit here, it will sit there. So if I put a grey plate on top, yeah, so the gap is much more pronounced on the 45-degree slopes than they were on the shallower slopes, or steeper slopes actually. But that will have to do for now, I think. So let's fill up this gap with a 1x1 brick for now. Like that. And if I put a 1x1 plate underneath the yellow and bring that down to the same level as everything else. Take that off, that's going to be easier to add. Then the idea is my windscreen pieces with the curved edges will sit here. And then I'll add the corridor connector will just sit over the top of that. But it means I get the curved corners of the windscreen as it is. So that's sitting there. So if I turn these 2 round like that, that can temporarily click into that. Not looking much yet, but we're getting there. So got that yellow there. Do we go white underneath all the way along, or do we keep a bit more of the yellow cab? I think we need a little bit more yellow cab, and then we'd have the white going down into the front, the nose of the front of the train. So let's put a white plate on there, and another 1x1. Put that on there. Get another yellow 1x1. and now they're the same height again. We'll finish it off with a 1x4 white plate. So how does that compare to my original design? So it's quite different. The white and yellow angle obviously isn't as perfect as I drew it, and also it's had to change height quite drastically, isn't it? So if we line those two up, the picture's obviously to scale. Yeah. Right, then we've got to curve this yellow round, and for that I bought these, which are curved bricks, but they've got a plate on the side. So if I join them together with a yellow plate, and my plan is to put them mounted on their sides like that to give me the curve. So that should be the same height as that piece, which it is, but those plates are, the studs on those plates are obstructing it on the inside. So that might mean the whole front cab has got to move this way one stud, otherwise those are going to jam against this, so I've got to change the floor completely. The other thing is, on that, obviously this now is sitting too far back, so that window has got to come out one or two plates to meet up with the curve on the front there. And of course this bit will be visible, but then this will be hidden by the corridor connector coming down across and down the other side. So that means I'm going to have to do some more work on getting grey pieces to attach behind there, or some transparent clear pieces to pad that out slightly, and they've also got to be studs on the side, and also they can't be, the top ones have to be tiles, not plates, otherwise the studs are going to interfere with the window. Or are they? No, look, that would just about work. What if I get a, no, 1x4 is too big. 3 studs will sit in, but the fourth one again interferes. So I'm going to need, it's slightly taller than the windscreen is, 4 studs. So that might need a bit of a rethink to work out how we're going to get that in there, or I bring it out entirely one stud and pad out behind the yellow. Let's see what that does. If I pad out behind the yellow, if I put a plate on there, that'll also allow me to get rid of the one on here. And then if we have this here, we need a row of grey bricks. Or do I put that there and move the yellow back? No, because those two have to be aligned, don't they, for this, the curve of the front cab effect. So this has got to move out one stud, and then we can put this here, which has moved out one plate, and then yes, that would start to look pretty good. So I've either got to fill this in with transparent black clear bricks or grey bricks to make it look like the windscreen is curved, because you can't buy these curved bricks in transparent clear. Unfortunately I don't have any of those parts right now, so I fear this is where this video may have to finish for now. What I could pad it out with temporarily is some black bricks. If you bear with me 1 second. In fact, hold on, I'll edit out, I'll find some black bricks and I'll be back with you in 1 minute. So here I am back again. I've got found myself some black bricks. So first of all, also I've got a 1x3 here to help tie things together. So if I put that there, and we put our windscreen at the front of that. But that needs to come down a plate actually. Get one of these. If I put the black bricks in first, so imagine they're clear trans black or dark grey. There we go, that's better. And then these can sit where I plan them to quite happily there. So if I get another brick with a stud on the side, and we can mount them on the floor. Put a couple of plates on there, then remove this again and put that on there. No, that's not going to work. Why is that not going to work? Right, that needs to come out another plate. I need another plate on there. Put that in there. That is going to make ever such a small gap, so that also may need to be worked on. That was my windows falling out, if you wonder what that noise was. Put those back in. So that gives us the curve of the front of the train, but it does give us that gap there. But does that mean now if I click all this into place, it's almost starting to look like the front of the train from that angle. That white will need to be pulled back actually, because we'll need to change it to the grey slopes and then angle that round. And as I said in the previous video, we were going to use the 45-degree slope, so I've got to now come up with a way to go around the corner, because these obviously don't come in corner pieces, so I'm going to work out where to go from here. But I think that's a good start on the cab. Let me know what you think. The livery is similar. Should be an extra white line in here, but it's so narrow, there's nothing in Lego I could use. I imagine if Lego were making this model, they would do it with a sticker. So that may be what I have to do, maybe use some white lining tape to go from here to there to separate the red from the grey and the yellow running up there. But I think that's a pretty good start. I think I may need to do a bit more thinking and a bit more ordering on Bricklink to see how we can then continue this on. And then obviously stick the corridor connector in here, which will hide these studs and some of this, and also buy some 1x1 grey or black transparent pieces to go in there. So I'll have to leave that for now. Please do like, comment and subscribe. Let me know what you think, and the next video will be continuing this cab.